Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking. Kindly subscribe to this beautiful channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about why adult children cut their relationship with their parents. So I have put the stick chairs together so that you watch and learn, and I'll come back to share my truths, like what I think about today's video. So let's get into it.
These are the things that I didn't expect when I went no contact with my mom. I have been no contact with my mom on and off for the past 10 years, but I would say it's been pretty consistent for the last 5 or 6 years. When I say no contact, I mean no contact. I don't have her phone number. I don't have her address. She met my son, but only once when he was 2 years old, and now he's about to be 7 years old this year. And she's never met my daughter, and she has not met my fiance. And the one thing that I did not expect when I went no contact with her was the amount of people in my life that would meet me for the very first time, find out that I'm no contact with my mom, and then ask me to mend the relationship. They would just automatically assume that that was my first course of action, and I did nothing to try to make the relationship between me and my mom work before I cut her off. And what I need for people to realize is that is the result of trying to make the relationship work. The no contact is the end of something. It's not the beginning of something. Typically, adult children that have gone no contact with their parents, that wasn't their first plan of action. They tried for probably many years to make the relationship with their mom or dad work. I know for me personally, there were years where my mom didn't take accountability. It wasn't just one conversation. True healing between two people cannot happen if only one person is acknowledging the trauma. And then even once the trauma is acknowledged, there needs to be a change in behavior. And it drives me absolutely insane when people just think, oh, you took the easy way out by just cutting her off. That was not the easy part. That was a very difficult decision. And it's a decision that I personally do not regret because I know everything that took place, and I know that I'd made the best decision for myself. And as a result of not having contact with me, she also does not have contact with my children. And I've said this in a video before, but children, no matter what the age, do not owe their parents anything. And that includes contact with their grandchildren. Parenting is a one-way street. It always has been that way. It is a job that you do not get thanked for because your children did not ask to be here. You did not have to have them. I also didn't expect the fallout that would happen with other family members because of my decision to cut off my mom. There are family members that don't talk to me, mostly siblings, just because of the fact that I won't have a relationship with our mom. And that's okay too, because although we have the same mother, I do realize we had a different experience with her based on the amount of time that we spent around her. I'm just saying, if you meet a person and find out that they're no contact with their parents, please respect their decision. And keep in mind that it is always the parent's responsibility to mend that relationship. It's never the child's responsibility.
Now, I don't understand why some parents act so surprised when their kids go no contact, knowing damn well you treated that kid like a servant more than you treated them like a child. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing parents out there, but then there's a select group of parents that traumatize their kids, that never allowed their kids to speak, never created a safe space, and to be honest, you're one of the reasons why your child deals with so many different issues like anxiety because you stressed that kid out. That kid never was allowed to be a kid because you forced them to grow up fast. Now, a lot of parents are going to say, I was young, I tried my best, I did everything I could. That still doesn't mean that you ever had the conversation where you apologize for all the wrongs that you did to your child. If you as a grown adult, 40, 50, 60 years old, still can't self-reflect and listen to your child vent about the things that they went through, and you're just going to dismiss their feelings, that's why they don't want to talk to your ass no more. I understand this might make some of you mad, but a lot of these kids don't ask to be here. You sat up there and had that child. You sat up there and brought that child into this world. Now, if you did it in an irresponsible way and or you had a child before you was ready, are you going to put that onto the kid? Or are you going to take responsibility for your actions? At the end of the day, a lot of kids would love to love their parents and have that relationship. But a lot of adults act like fucking kids.
People who go no contact with their parents always get the, oh, but they're your parents argument. But I think we need to ask, what did the parents do to make that person cut off all ties with their family? People don't wake up one day and suddenly decide to cut off their parents because they're bored. It was most likely constant abuse and neglect that repeated and piled up over the years. And in these situations, there are two options. Option number one, continue being an emotional and or physical punching bag for your abusers. Or option number two, leave. Parents who don't get cut off from their children's lives don't abuse their kids. It's pretty simple.
What I think about today's video. Okay, so I had to put this video so that you learn. So we're going to get into what we're talking about. Okay, but why adult children cut ties with their parents. Okay, this is not something that happens overnight, and there are usually deeper emotions, reasons behind. Okay, so first we have to acknowledge emotional or physical abuse. Many adult children distance themselves because they have endured years of abuse, whether it's verbal, emotionally, or even physically. Okay, so when they become adults, they finally gain the power and independence to stay away from the toxic environment. They might choose to prioritize their own mental health and well-being over maintaining a relationship that has caused them so much pain. So then there's also the issue of overbearing control. Some parents continue to treat their adult children as if they are still kids. They criticize their choices, whether it's career, relationship, or even lifestyle, and try to control their decisions. This can make adult children feel suffocated, unable to live their lives freely, which pushes them to establish boundaries. For some, cutting ties becomes the only way to truly calm their independency. Okay, so another key reason is lack of support or understanding. Adult children often cut ties when they feel like their parents truly don't really understand or support them. For instance, if someone comes with us, they want to be gay and their parents don't accept them, it creates a divide that can be hard to bridge. The same goes for parents who dismiss their children mental health struggles or life goals. When there's a persistent lack of empathy, some adult children decide it's healthier to step away rather than keeping trying to win their parents' approval. Let's talk about unresolved family conflict. Long distance long standing this disagreement, family drama, or even sibling rivalry can create deep rooted resentment between parents and children. When these conflicts go unaddressed, they pile up over time, creating a toxic environment that feels unbearable to deal with. At some point, adult children decide that maintaining the relationship just is not worthy the emotional toll. Another thing is financial expectations also play a role. There are situations where parents expect their adult children to continue providing support or contributing to their household. When these demands become overwhelming, it can cause tension. Adult children may feel like they are being used or unfairly burdened, okay, which leads to emotional distance and sometimes cutting off contact entirely. So another thing is important to mention personal growth and boundaries. As people grow older, they develop their own identities, values, and beliefs. Sometimes these beliefs don't align with their parents. Adult children might feel judged or misunderstood because they are outgrowing the values they were raised with. When parents are not willing to respect their children's autonomy or constantly cross boundaries, adult children may feel the need to protect themselves by creating distance. So, while never an easy decision, adult children often choose to cut ties with their parents for the sake of their emotional well-being okay, independence and personal growth. The reasons are valid or their variety, okay, but at the core, it's about preserving peace and choosing to live a life that aligns with their own values. Let me know in the comment section, like, have you ever cut ties with your parents? Because I know sometimes some parents they cross of boundaries, okay, and sometimes this comes with a lot of tensions. Me, I've heard it from my friends where they say in their household their mother has their favorite child, like they even show it to the other siblings that this is my favorite child. If you do anything, if you're not the favorite child, if you do anything from this household, you'll be they're going to talk to you in a way you feel like you're not doing it. Why can't you be like a brother? But mom, this is my brother. This is not me. Everyone is individual and everyone has their own, yeah. As much as you're bringing these children together, but they have different personalities. So you have to differentiate. This is like this and this. And as a mother, you have to know your kids so well. Yeah. That when I say this one is going to react, this one is like this. Yeah, so that's the thing. So it caused a lot of attention, and sometimes siblings are fighting. So when sibling fighting, sit them down together and tell them you didn't do well, you didn't do good here. Kindly apologize to each other. Yeah, because when you leave it like that, it will cause tension in the house, and later maybe your children will cut ties. Cut. They want to have their own freedom.